Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends, for the last time this football season. We're doing our Friday Night Lights. It's the divisional round. 4 big games. Willie Walls, the great Swame Odell blocker. This is it, my friends. We're going to go to Cancun for the next, what are we going to Cancun for? At least until September. I mean, it's cold down where I'm living. I don't know where you guys are, but it's freezing here.
October-ish, maybe.
All right.
September-ish.
Let's get right to it, guys. 4 pretty good games. The last week, the games were great. Hopefully, they'll be as good this week. It starts with Buffalo against Denver, Willie. Josh Allen not at 100%. The foot's hurting. The shoulder's hurting. Every time he goes down, I'm like, is he getting up? I don't know. Tough matchup, Willie. Do you like Buffalo at all in this game?
So I listen. So let me say, I'm gonna preface this. I'm not gonna have too much of Buffalo, but I can see, if you're trying to do a Kincaid against the linebackers, because listen, this type of defense give Buffalo nightmares because they play 4, they rush for 4 people. They got 7 guys. They got 4 guys that got 7 sacks. This is the type of game that I think Josh Allen, and I just think it's finally caught up with him. I am not big on. Now listen, remember last year Cook at 120 yards against him last year, but this year 74 yards is the most of any back has gained against Denver. They've been pretty stout against the run, so I'm just not big on. I think Shakir, like I said, because he gets like 3 air yards. When they just throw him a little shovel pass, he gets about 10 passes. He's not a bad player. I don't mind having him in a lineup or 2, but nobody's going to be a call for Buffalo for me in this contest.
What about Denver? I like Harvey. I think we can, if you need somebody cheap and sneaky, maybe Pat Bryant, Sutton. You can run on Buffalo, that's for sure. Will you pay up for Bryant for RJ Harvey?
I think Harvey's in play against the Bills. I really do. He's gonna be in a lot of my lineups.
So if you had 20 lineups, how many have Harvey in them?
He'll be in at least 10 or 12.
Swami, this game feels like I hate going against Buffalo, right? This is Buffalo's chance to make the Super Bowl. There's no Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson. It's a wide open field for them. But Denver feels like a bad matchup, Swami.
I think Denver is a bad matchup, Doc. I think what your gut is telling you is probably right. Even though it's something about the Buffalo team that we like, we saw them be a little scrappy last week when the Jaguars probably let one get away, especially with the turnovers. But it just feels like Denver might be a little bit too much for them to overcome with everything that's going on. Maybe if Allen was healthier, maybe if they were home, but I just can't really see it. And if I were to take a chance, it would be a real chance in this game. It wouldn't be Shakir. It would be something like Coleman. It would just be something crazy. I don't think I would want to really do anything else. You just hope he get the one-on-one. Maybe he get a couple of balls, uses the big frame to go up and something like that. And that's the only way I could see it because they're going to have to find somebody else. It's not going to be just Shakur catching those 3-yard balls. I think they're going to be, lighting him up a little bit and letting him know early that you're not going to win this football game. So if there was a shot, though, it would mean if Buffalo's able to run the ball, control the clock, and then put a little pressure on Denver's offense. But, Doc, I don't know.
Buffalo's run defense is bad, Swami, except Ed Oliver is expected to be back in the lineup. Does that make you worry a little bit about RJ Harvey or Badee or McLaughlin or any of these guys?
I know Walls has got like a bromance with some of these guys, but Doc, I look at what they do on the field. And when I see 30, 35, 75, 65, 50, 43, and 28 rushing yards, it means you can't run the ball. and that's over the second half of the season. So it really doesn't matter who you're facing. And then all you can do is hope he got the game where he got 4 for 71 out the backfield. But that was one time in the last 8. So I just don't know. I mean, Harvey has been cute this year, but just hasn't done enough where I would want to say that, oh yeah, he's gonna be in 10 or 12 lineups out of 20. That was just ridiculous.
All right, let's take a look at this other game, which I think we're remembering back to week 18, right? San Francisco, Seattle. I think many of us wanted a high scoring game. We didn't get it. We've got short-term memory, Swami. We remember that game just a couple weeks ago. Can that game explode this weekend? Because that game, JSN didn't do enough. McCaffrey didn't do enough. Are we going to see that game in the 20s? Or are you worried that Sam Darnold is not healthy? Seattle runs this ball. The 49ers defense can't keep it up. How does this game go?
I think if you make a mistake and go to NFL replay at the same time the game is on, you'll likely see the very same game we're watching. I think it will look so similar to that game, you might not be able to tell apart. Yeah, that little bit of playoff desperation at some point. I think it's two football teams that know each other. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I still think the edge for me would be the 49ers, but once they lost Kittle and then, the way that San Francisco defense was looking, I feel like it swung back to now Seattle all of a sudden. It's like you could just see if Seattle does what they did in that game, which was they kind of pounded the rock. I want to say they probably ran it like 35 times or something. Like they really took the ball out of Donald's hands, didn't let him, make any mistakes because he had to drop back so often, which limits JSN, so he doesn't feel like he's like it at his price. And then McCaffrey was ineffective. So it's like, who you like here? Maybe Jennings? But again, I don't know about these games.
Willie, talk to me here for a second. This game feels, I don't think Swami's wrong. You got to keep the ball out of Sam Darnold's hands, right? You don't want to expect Sam to win this for you. If Sam's not going to win it for you, it means they're going to give the ball to Walker and Charbonnet a ton. If that happens, the game slows down, and all of a sudden, maybe there's one guy in a winning lineup from this game. How are you playing it?
I'm going to tell you why I am not a fan of this game. Their name is Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy. 2 monsters of the midway that's in that middle of that defense there. Let me tell you something. That defense, the thing that I noticed in that game, it was no yak. When they hit him, it was like, bam, you're down. Bam, you're down. Listen, I know what McCaffrey did last week. And I got beat by it because Philly is a dumb team. They're a dumb team. Listen, Seattle's being smart. Listen, what you do to San Francisco, you pound that damn rock. And I'm going to tell you, my favorite back on the slate is in this game, which is Mr. Charbonnet. Okay, I'm going to be playing Mr. Charbonnet, my favorite back in this game. And I don't mind, you could do too. I mean, Kenneth Walker's in play too because they do a lot of stuff when I'm that. But the thing, this is why I like Charbonnet. Charbonnet, when it comes to being inside the 10-yard line, 30 to 10 for touches. Right. Inside, inside the 5, is 17 to 7.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even
close. So that's what I call it, the money shot. Okay, give me that. The people that are doing that, give me the money shot. Okay, then give me the money shot. I'm gonna take that. Okay, I'm gonna take that all. All I'm saying to you is Charbonnet is my favorite back on the slate. If you want to ask me how many lineups he will be in, 20 or 20. He'll be in every lineup there. Yeah,
me too. All right. By the way, Willie, Jerry Blake had asked me to ask you: do you like Curtis Samuel at all in the Buffalo game? I'll take that as a no. Okay.
Sam L. Jackson.
Yeah, give me Samuel Jackson, Samuel Smith, Samuel Johnson. No.
Okay. All right. All right. So Zach Charbonnet is going to be in all 20 of your 20 lineups.
Yes.
Is JSN going to be in any of your lineups?
I might sprinkle him in, but he's a sprinkle. He's not a lock for me. I think they really are hiding Donald, to be honest with you. I think that if you want to do something, you just pound that ball in this game, and you can have Donald do play action. Listen, we know he's a great player, but I have my sights set on someone else in a colder game. So I can't.
All right, so let me ask you both the same question. Swami, you first. Can I fade both games on Saturday?
Yes.
Willie, can I fade both games on Saturday?
I think you need a piece or two from the game. No, you can't play. You can't play. No,
Charbonnet.
Yeah, you need a piece or two, and I think you might need a Denver piece. Somebody doing something in the Denver game, because it's in the other game we got. I ain't got too many people in there, but I got a game stack on the last game. But
the question was, can you?
No.
Can you fade the first two games?
You need Charbonnet.
Okay.
Yeah, you need Charbonnet.
All right, let's get to the Sunday games. Houston against New England. I'm dying to play New England, but not against that Texan defense, Willie. That defense is scary. But no Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Can Houston go into Gillette Stadium and win with Christian Kirk, Xavier Hutchinson, Jaden Higgins? That's how you're going to have to win that game. Unless this game is 0-0, I don't know how they win it, Willie.
Yeah, I don't know how they win it, but I'm going to tell you, the thing that's interesting about Houston, they remind me of that Legion of Boom. Those guys right there. And listen, they want as much trouble as New England, as Houston going to have with New England's defense. Oh, they're going to have a little bit more with that. This defense right here play four linemen, and those four linemen make you get a tight end to chip in and make a back stay in the backfield, stay in. Listen, they are, and I'm going to tell you that, man, that William, I mean, what is his name, man? That man, that lineman for them, man, is just a monster. I listen, I think, now the guy, if I had to play somebody for New England, my favorite play will be the running back.
Which one, Stevenson or Henderson?
Stevenson. I know Henderson has the upside, but when they come to playoff games, this is one and done. You don't want mistakes in this game, and you got to go with who you trust. And you see when they get down to the goal line, who's the guy that's in the game mostly? It's Stevenson. Stevenson been running hot with those 9, but I'm just saying, I'm not a fan of really anything in this game. I think this game is a rock fight. This game is going to be mano a mano, and I did not like the way Stroud looked last week. He was horrible, and they won despite him. What did he have, like 3 or 4 turnovers? What did he have? 3 turnovers, 4 turnovers?
Yes, but look, this is one of those games. This is a bare knuckle fight, Swami. These are two teams who play defense. Drake May can explode, but not against the Texans. I don't know whether Drake May's throwing more than 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. But how does Houston win this game, Swami? Do you see a roadmap for it?
Not without Nico. I thought I would have liked them against New England a little bit more. But again, the defense scored a lot of points last week. The offense did not. And they couldn't find a way to do it with Nico, at least in the first half. I don't think Marks will have the same type of success, and they will need him more, especially without Nico.
Yeah.
He just hasn't shown me a whole lot, and so I just feel like the home team is going to find a way to make enough plays. I still feel like they can win at a couple of positions. I think that Hunter Henry is probably in a decent spot. I still think Diggs is tough for, even though, they're pretty good, I still think Diggs could be trouble for him. I think they'll find a way, whether it's out the backfield or screen plays or just mixing in these backs. New England's going to find a way to win the game. And now it's just a matter of who we think is going to have a fantasy, performance that we might like here. And if I was to pick anybody, again, I'm still thinking it could be Henry. I think you can have some success against Houston there. I wouldn't be mad if you picked one of the receivers, which would then mean that maybe I can't trust Stevenson. But he seemed like he's been the guy the last couple.
What about a Texans cheap receiver? What about a Hutchinson? What about Higgins? What about Noel?
I feel like everybody, he had a decent enough game last week where you could look at Kirk. but fantasy wisdom tell me that Kirk's got a better chance of playing quarterback this week than they do having that performance again. So maybe Higgins then.
Here's my problem with Houston. I think they're a great defensive team.
Yeah.
I don't like them around the goal line. They don't make a lot of good play calls. Have you seen that they get stopped like on the 2-yard line more than most any team in the league? Can't punch it in.
And without Nico, Doc, that offense, I just don't see how they're gonna make plays. If they do, it's gonna have to be Stroud, and I think we can add Schultz into that mix as somebody who has to step up. But I think they're gonna struggle without Nico.
All right, Swami, we get to the game of the weekend. So I'm going to give you 2 pathways. 1, are we all in on this game? Or B, are we worried about the weather, the wind, the cold? I'm not worried about the wind or cold. I think this is the game that you stack the crap out of it and you see what happens after it. What's your thoughts, Swami?
It sure feel like it, Doc. But I think last week, first I'm gonna do a walls. I'm gonna talk out of the left side of my neck and then go to the right side of my neck.
Yeah.
So again, this feels like you probably want to have more pieces going late. But every time it feels like that, it's like Wall said, then you find out that the early games had all of the points like it did last week. And then the games after that, every game after that, even though the scores were close from a fantasy perspective, they got worse and worse and worse all the way to Monday. So here, hopefully it's not that kind of thing. So let me put a little tape on that side of the neck. That's the Willie side talking. Now let me get to the Swami side. So I would say that this game is the one that you probably want to stack. You want to have most of your stuff in this game. And I think that I wouldn't be too concerned about weather on either side. I think this is probably a full stack type of situation, just like Willie said earlier. I think you just got to find a way to get creative with that full stack in a way that most people won't have. And I'm talking about, maybe 3 wide receivers.
So when you say full stack, are we saying 5 guys, 6 guys, 4? I mean, give me a number. What's enough?
If I could tell you 7 guys you can play in this game.
All right, let me ask you this. You can play both quarterbacks, right? Agreed, both guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Can you play Swift and Monangai?
You can play Swift and Williams.
Can you play Corum?
You can.
He's a man of interest.
You can.
You can play Puka. You could play Devontae. Can you play DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and Luther Burden?
You could play DJ Moore.
You can play 2 of them.
Yeah, and Luther.
I don't like the man with lefty. I can't play lefty right now. He was the man all year, but he doesn't feel like he's healthy. I wouldn't put him in there.
You play Luther though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Will you play Loveland?
Yes.
Will you play Higbee or Parkinson?
Parkinson is my guy.
Higbee's my guy, but yes. I'm leaning towards Parkinson though.
All right, so let me ask you this. If you had to start your lineup, Willie, you're starting it with Stafford or Caleb?
Yeah, I actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Caleb better. I mean, I'm playing. These are my 2 quarterbacks I'm playing. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's 50-50. But let me tell you the interesting thing about the Rams in this game. They didn't do it last week because Carolina, they are very good at the play action pass. So you didn't see a lot of 13 personnel, but you're going to see a lot of 13 personnel this game. Or you're going to get a whole bunch because they did it like 31, 35% during the whole year. And Stafford has thrown over 20 touchdowns in 13 personnel. And what they do is they normally have the 13 personnel, and they'll have a guy like Parkinson be on the left side of the formation. They will run somebody like a Mumford or Puka on the right side of formation. They will get the wide receiver to clear it out. They'll do a play action pass. He'll roll to the right, and he hit either, like you said, he hit either tight end by that goal line. You saw that tight end that Parkinson had last week. So
are you saying is Puka a must play?
Oh, Puka's a lock button.
Devontae Adams a must play?
I'm not saying he's a must play. No, I'm not, because I don't know how healthy he is. But let's get some stuff about Puka so we'll know that nobody make a mistake not to have him in the lineup. Puka, 27% of the target shares, 9 straight games. TD in 4 straight. On play action, 31% of the target rate, 4.02 in the play action pass. What is Target struggle with? The play action pass. Plus, they missing that safety is gone right now. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So they are definitely in play. The reason I like Parkinson is the TD equity. Parkinson in the last 10 games got 9 touchdowns. In the last 10 games. You name a tight end that got better numbers since week number 10. They're going to do a lot of things. So I think Parkinson is a very interesting guy that I like in this game. And let me tell you something. My man Loveland, he's a lock button. He's 5,500. People are not going to want to pay it because that's a big jump for what he was. But just think about what he's doing in the last few games, Mr. Loveland. Mr. Loveland, 8 for 137, 10 for 91, 44%, 25% tax rate, ran 90% of the routes. Remember, he was only running 50% of the routes. Guess what he did? 90%. Okay? Now they are all in on this guy. Listen, 5,500, let me tell you something. 7,800 was McBride, and we paid 7,800. He's only 55. And McBride was getting 10 targets a game. He's getting 9.5 targets a game. What I'm telling you is, I hope a lot of people want to leave him out because of the price point where he is. And I'm hearing a lot of this kick, but nobody got more upside than Loveland. So that's why, just like Swame always says this, he says, get people that can get you 30 points. Who else from Chicago get you 30 points? Who else? What other tight end on this slate?
No other tight end in this slate can get you 30 points. None.
And he's 5,500. So we're actually getting him at a discount.
Well, Doc, all of that hooping and hollering over there. Just want to direct some facts about the tight end for the Rams position. I think he was right. Parkinson has done well over those games. Higbee missed 6 of those. And last week in a wild card game, he played, I want to say, 65 or 70% of the offensive snaps. So that's why I was leaning back towards Tyler Higbee because he's now had 2 games back and he had 65, 70% offensive snaps last week.
Yeah, he can. Bonner, but listen, I want just think how many times are they going to throw the ball? I get you.
It won't be enough points in that game. It don't matter how many times they throw.
All right, let me ask you this: is McCaffrey out of 20 lineups, Willie? How many is McCaffrey in?
I will give 1 out of respect.
1
out of respect. I'm going. Listen. This is what I got to do in this.
Are
game.
You smoking something?
I'm not smoking nothing.
1 out of 20.
I'm talking about on the 2 game slate. He got to be locked in. But on the 4 game slate,
I'm talking about 4 game slate.
Oh, 1 lineup.
Swame, how many out of 20?
Whatever Willie's smoking, he might as well pass me the blunt because it is unlikely that I will see Mr. McCaffrey in more than 1 or 2 lineups. Doc, 23 rushing yards and 34 passing yards when it mattered at home.
So you would not put him in your lineup?
No, I would. I respect him. I said like Willie said, but it's not too many more than that. Out of respect, maybe I said I'll go 1 more, 2, but it's pretty close. Willie's not far off on this, Doc. It is only because of the slate and because of what he does out the backfield and respect for it being Mr. McCaffrey. I'm not even considering it, but it is a tough matchup, and he cost. He really gonna make it hard for you to get anybody in there after you put in Loveland and Puka. You're gonna be holding some dead weight with at your running back.
And he's the most owned running back on the slate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying?
Getting
leverage by fading him.
Right. If you get leverage, now listen. The only way you're going to get down the slate is doing leverage because if McCaffrey even gets you 19 points, what is that doing in this price point?
What about, all right, let me ask you about receivers. Stephon Diggs. Is he a guy we want? Cortland Sutton?
Sutton is an interesting guy. I mean, like that guy who used to do a thing on cigars when he said it's interesting. I forgot his name, but he's interesting. But they're not core for me. I'm not getting too Diggs a lot. I mean, I can see you.
Juwan Jennings.
Doc, some of these guys are men of interest, but again, they struggle mightily. Mind you, these folks already played twice this year. It's not like we gotta make up the San Francisco-Seattle game. We can see it. It's clear as mud.
If San Francisco is going to win this game, how is it going to happen?
Turnovers.
Yeah, Donald being Donald.
Yeah.
Don, because this is the thing. You whip out your best blocking tight end, Kittle. Kittle's a monster.
Tunches is pretty decent. Tunches
No,
played
but
pretty well.
I'm talking about blocking. Blocking.
Kittle is a monster. And on top of that, I remember last game, Sam Darnold was 20 for 26 and no interceptions. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but that's very efficient. That's 80% passing, just under 80% passing for the game. And they still were able to run the ball with at least they had to run the ball like 40 times, Doc. 39 times as a team, 180 yards and a touchdown. That says no thank you.
Heat says play Harvey.
It's a leverage play. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad with Harvey Heat, but I just can't. I'm not paying up for McCaffrey. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the film. But listen, this Seattle team, they're physical. And I know that. No, one thing I say, the big fella's back for San Francisco, so that's a help. He was gone in the previous game. The big fella, he is back, but I just think those two monsters in the middle, man, that's the monsters of the midway. And I just don't see it with San Francisco. And the thing about it, they're so physical. Once they hit you, you're down. And they feel like they want to owe San Francisco something, because San Francisco is a team that we should whip their behind all the time.
All right, do it this one. Give me the one guy, Swame, you cannot win without.
I mean, I think that's Puka. I think we already kind of covered that. So we got to look for, I think, more of somebody we think is more of a cheap bastard or a balls to the walls. I think Puka is he's the most obvious player on the whole slate.
Willie, who's the one guy we can't live without?
I think Loveland. At the tight end position, if he gets 25, 30 points, I don't see another tight end matching that point wise. I think Loveland is my guy. I mean, I like both. I agree with both, but I'm just saying those guys will be in 100%.
I think it's Charbonnet. I think we need Charbonnet.
Need
Charbonnet?
Doc, I think it's at least 6 backs that can give us what Charbonnet can give us. It's not 6 that can do what Loveland can do.
Not at that price. No, I like Loveland. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to give it another name.
No. Three guys 100%. That's another one. Charbonnet. I love Charbonnet. I think,
but like McCaffrey, 2 games, 30 carries, he averaging 3 yards a carry.
But you can't think of it that way, Swame. You can't. This is the game that if you don't win this game, you go home. You're giving the ball to McCaffrey. You're throwing the ball to McCaffrey. You are finding ways to help McCaffrey win this game.
Well, listen, we get that, and I'm not mad at it.
What if he catches 8 passes for 70 yards and runs for another 50?
Yeah, but if he don't get in the end zone, what is that doing?
But maybe nobody gets in the end zone this week.
No.
But field goal week.
But what the point that I'm saying to you is, first of all, how many? Now it's not going to happen this time because Trent Williams is back. It won't be as bad. But how many plays did San Francisco run in the last game? Do y'all know?
How many they ran?
Yeah.
But wasn't Trent Williams out?
No, he wasn't. He was out. They ran 42 plays. So
they had 12 rushes, 27 passes.
If Seattle controls that game, which I think they will,
at home this time,
and I don't see it. I don't
see it, Doc. I know we can go if, but when these divisional teams, it's a little bit different. Like playoffs, you can say, hey, win or go home. But when you say 2 teams that's familiar with each other, and when it mattered in a game at home, you got beat down 13-3 with everything on the line.
Do you think San Francisco can win this game?
It's unlikely.
If you do, McCaffrey has to be part of that.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's the only way. The only way is McCaffrey.
Because that's why he's in. What we're saying is one line. Out of respect for Mr. McCaffrey, I will play him in the line. I will play him in the lineup, and I will only because out of the respect for him. Now, like I said, but if he don't get over 25, he's not going to beat you. You know. So I just.
But I got him, Doc. Is 17 is where I got him at.
All right. Look, I'm just saying if this is a lower scoring slate than we think, 17 is not the worst number.
But it kills you at 8,800.
What if he gives you 25? What if he gives you 3x? You winning?
Yeah, that's
we keep adding touchdowns, Doc. Then he gonna be my guy.
Hey, listen. But what we're saying is, like, if he gets you 20 and Puka gets you 30, you understand what I'm saying? And we got backs that if Charbonnet gets 16 or 17, and you got your 17, you're gonna lose right there because Charbonnet beats you.
Would you play JSN or McCaffrey? Because if McCaffrey is doing what you're saying it is, it
Then
brings
JSN
more to the game.
Yeah.
So it's better to take JSN's, say, 6 balls for 70 than it is to then go with McCaffrey, because at least you get it both ways.
I don't want any part of Sam Darnold. I don't want to have anything to do with Sam Darnold.
At home, Doc, I just told you it was 20 for 26. That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, but he chokes in any big game. By the way, Swami, a little known detail. Do you know how Stephen A. Smith is one of your fraternity brothers?
Can you say?
Yeah.
By the way, Christian McCaffrey is one of my fraternity brothers.
Yeah, I don't recognize Stephen A. Smith, Doc. He is not a friend of mine.
All right, I'm just saying that McCaffrey and I were in the same fraternity, so I got to root for him somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, McCaffrey. No, we love McCaffrey on the show, Doc. Let's be clear. We're all McCaffrey. Yeah. And if you're saying, if money, we're not talking about money, then McCaffrey's a lock. He would be close.
Is Chris Austin onto something? Can you play both Seattle guys?
Listen, that's not a bad play because I really think they both ate the last time, and what San Francisco struggle is what Walker does on that outside run.
I like the idea. I think it's clever. I think it's something that people won't do.
Yeah, and
they
get 15 carries each.
Balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. It doesn't have to be a player. It could be a scorer. Give me anything.
I'm gonna give you somebody that I'm starting to get more interested in. We talked about earlier. I think Luther Burden is very interesting, especially against the Rams struggling, but not against the wide receivers. They begin to eat up by the wide receivers. And I'm going to have DJ Moore, but I think I'm going to have somebody. When I don't have Parkinson, I'm going to have Luther Burden in there, and I think Luther Burden is a very interesting play on this slate.
Swami says,
I think I'm going to go the other way. I think I'm going to go DJ Moore. He disappointed me a few times this year, but over the last couple of weeks, maybe not just last couple, maybe last 4 or 5 games, he's found a way to have, I think, 3 or 4 decent games over the last, maybe 3 over the last 5. And so I think it's the time they might need to lean on him. I think Odunze being back in there could maybe even open it up for either him or Luther, but I'm just leaning more towards DJ right now.
All right, there's 3 Iowa State receivers on the Texans: Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, and my guy Xavier Hutchinson. Xavier Hutchinson finds the end zone this week.
Okay, that's interesting. And the back Swami up on what he said is 6. He's had a touchdown in the last 8 games. He's got 6. So Moore is waking up. And he had a couple of big touchdowns. One to win the game. Had that big one against Green Bay last week. So Moore has been playing. He's been playing better.
All right, this is it. The last one, gentlemen. I'm gonna miss you.
Hey, we gotta give out stacks. We gotta give. You didn't give the
stack schmacks. There's only one game. Play the Rams and the Bears.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
All right. The cheap bastard, Doc.
We had a cheap bastard.
I'm sorry. Swami, who is your favorite cheap bastard?
Doc, my favorite cheap bastard. And folks out there in TV land, you look right there at the bottom of the name. My favorite cheap bastard, if you was worried about the spelling, is Willie Bartholomew. Indeed, Doc. But I think we might have to look at getting a little bit creative this week. I know we kind of gave these, I won't say conservative plays, but But as Willie know, you might have to get a little bit crazy, which means you got to look at those teams that are underdogs this week, and you got to figure out, just how you were saying, Doc, what does it look like if they're winning? Nobody likes McCaffrey. We don't like McCaffrey. What does that also mean? Even if he's higher on the slate, it could potentially mean that you got to figure out what that looks like, meaning McCaffrey, Jennings, and Purdy, and then you got to come back with Jansen. You got to put it together.
Right? You got to find guys, like you're saying, if they're going to win, how's it going to happen, right?
How's it going to happen? And you got to figure that out, and you got to play with some kahunas. I know we're talking about who we like and who we don't like, but when it's something to game theory, it's a little bit different. You're going to have to figure out and think about some of those players like Cook, like McCaffrey, if you want to win.
Do you know what I learned this year, guys? I learned that when I won that big week, my lineup was really uncomfortable. Right? You look at that lineup and you're like, seriously? Sometimes you got to have a lineup that doesn't seem to make sense, but it does when you think about it, right? So maybe it is a Rams lineup with 2 tight ends and Puka. Maybe it is the Bears going with Caleb and Loveland and Burden and DJ Moore and hoping that they score. You're going to need to do something, right? You can't play it safe.
Right. It's like that sweatshirt Walls got on. It's like you go, ooh, what the hell is that? Right. And then you look and you go, oh, it's not that bad.
It used to be all right. Yeah. The team used to be good.
Hey, listen, I just want to say, listen, it's been, we've had a lot of fun this year. Thank you for your support. You know, we appreciate everything. You know, in the football season just go by so fast. It's ridiculous. We are in the divisional round. I remember we were starting in September and we were so happy to be starting. And I mean, the football season, it's no season to go by as fast as the football season.
True. It's true.
And it's the longest to try to come back when you finish off with baseball, and then you're coming back and you're waiting for football. You're waiting for you're just waiting for that first preseason game. And then once you hit that preseason game, it's on from there. Once they get to training camp, that's what you're waiting for. You know, we're going, you know, so it's and listen, but listen, we appreciate you, Christian. Thank you for everything. And please be safe. And please don't spend on, you know, be safe with your spending on this. You know, you got to remember, do not, you know, budget what you have. Do not play what you don't have, please.
We appreciate.
And I just want to make sure that we can correct it for some of the folks out there on other shows that didn't get it right. It is the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity.
All right.
So won't be any of this confusion that's going on with some folks out here that's just getting it wrong.
Willie, do you remember when we used to bring you on with the cue music?
Yeah. I remember.
All right, we appreciate everybody out there. We love doing the show. We love you. Love you guys listening and giving us comments. We appreciate you, and we'll be back next year. So for one final time, for my friends Willie Walls and the great Swame, be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.